to Tree Gong Wisdom Council. I am your host, Kira Lani. I am so glad to be here. And I wonder how many of you put a comment in the chat if you have ever said, I'm too old, or it's too late, or why have I not done what I thought I would do when I was a child? And here we are in this life. So I want to hear from some of you if any of this resonates. If you've ever felt old, used up, or discouraged because maybe you feel like you put all of your work into a relationship or a job and it didn't work out. And now here you are starting your life all over again, and it feels like everything is falling apart. I'd love to hear if that is resonating for any of you. Let me know you're here. Say hello in the comments. And let's drop in deep today, friends. I am so excited to bring to you an old friend, and I mean old in that I've known this tree for a few years, and old in the sense that this is a 500-year-old tree. So welcome, welcome, come on in. Let's get started. Hello to Nikki. Hello, my dear Kirath. Hello to Hope. And yes, I had a great birthday, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit because birthdays can really be a time, yes, falling apart. I totally get it, Nikki. It feels like sometimes our life has to fall apart before we can start again. And I'm going to actually share about my birthday a little bit because the tree I'm sharing with you today came from an amazing time I had on my birthday, which was just 2 days ago. And so I'm still celebrating my birthday here. And I'm also going to share with you about a birthday a few years ago because in 2017, thank you for the happy birthdays. And yes, Gloria, thank you for saying it. You are never too old. And I know people who are my age and younger who think that they are getting old and it's time to just settle into your patterns until you die. Thank you for the happy birthday. And this happens when people turn 40. Sometimes even at 39, people start feeling like they're getting old. And right now, I am 47. So I'm 48 now. I just turned 48 2 days ago. And I'm still young. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I might be 50 soon. I mean, I plan to be 50 soon and beyond. And I watch people in their 70s and 80s still relishing life and bringing through their youthful spirit. And that is my goal here in this life. And back to my story, 2017. I thought I was with the love of my life. I thought I had a second chance. I had already had 4 children. I had already had a relationship that didn't work out with my children's father. And I thought I had a second chance. I did have a second chance. I had a year and a half of magical, passionate love in my life. And it actually was my birthday when I turned 44. So this was 4 years ago now, when my entire life had fallen apart. I was uprooted in a very uncomfortable way. I had thought that I had built something over all of those years of raising my family and building a business. I thought I had built something that could sustain me. And then my business partner took all my money and left me with nothing. I lost my home. And that man that I thought was my always, my one and only, he couldn't take all the stress and he was leaving. And it was my birthday and it was the last trip that we were taking together. And basically, I spent that birthday alone, even though I was traveling with the man that I was in love with. He was busy at a convention. And so I chose to take myself to a guitar store and buy myself a new guitar. And I took it to the beach and I played it. And in that moment at 44, I knew everything was falling apart so that I could start again. And sometimes we have to let everything fall apart so that we can start again. So the next birthday, after that year of everything falling apart, was the advent of my first Tree Gong show, the first Tree Gong wisdom, ancient wisdom show came out just after my 45th birthday, which I chose to spend alone on Vision Quest with the trees because I was already steeped deeply in this starting again. And ever since then, for me, not just every year, yes, the solar return is really a time to look at what are you bringing through? How are you bringing in freshness and newness and youth into your life each and every time you circle around that sun? I see that in every single day, every single moment is an opportunity to start again. So, yes, horrible things have happened in my life. Yes, I've suffered severe trauma. Yes, I have lost many loved ones. I have grieved deeply. And because I choose to allow myself to grieve, to allow myself to authentically let go through the process of grieving, sometimes through sobbing and wailing, sometimes through laughing and playing, I'm able to claim my youth each and every day, to even may I even say, I might be aging backwards because I'm so dedicated to making each moment a new day. Each time I awake with fresh eyes. Each time I go outside and breathe in the air, it's new, it's fresh, it's a new beginning. And so I'm going to share with you an adventure that I took this last week. And Kirath, Kirath says, after a week of riots and lootings, things are beginning to change for the betterment because the army is in place. So Kirath has been going through some intense, devastating loss in his community. His entire city was overrun with riots and looting. And now, as the peace comes in, people are starting again. People are rebuilding, people are reclaiming their lives. And Nikki swims every morning in the sea with ladies in their 70s. These ladies in their 70s know how to keep themselves young. Go in the sea every morning, refresh yourself, renew yourself. You know, the tradition of baptism is not something that I believe should happen once in your life, but something that happens regularly, to cleanse yourself, to renew yourself, to be reborn each and every day. So Nikki, I invite you, when you go into that sea each morning, invite it to be like a baptism, like a rebirth, like you're entering into the womb of the Mother Earth and emerging as a new you, with new energy, with new life force awakened within you, and with a new outlook, a new perspective that allows you to transmute all of those traumas, to see the core of gold within you as everything falls apart around you, to be reborn through that process. When a snake sheds its skin, it doesn't just fall off blissfully. If you want to see a transmutation of struggle, watch a snake shedding its skin. They have to like find a place to wedge their head in a rock and work it loose and slowly crawl out as that skin peels away. And then they have a really soft, tender skin that has to dry and prepare. And they're very vulnerable at that time. So if you feel vulnerable as everything is falling apart in your life, that is just totally normal. And yes, Kirath, age is just a number. When the heart is strong, the body glows to a bright life. Yes. And I actually did have someone, I ran into an old friend a couple years ago when I was celebrating my birthday at Mount Shasta. I ran into an old friend who I hadn't seen in a long time. And he said to me, we used to hang out when I was in my 20s and early 30s. And he said to me, Kira, I think you look younger than you did then when you were in your 20s. When I was in my 20s, I was struggling to get on top of an overwhelming role of motherhood with 4 young sons and find a way to create a financial stability for myself. And through the process of dedicating myself to healing arts practices, I found how to heal myself from within, how to access unconditional joy of being that is not dependent on outside circumstances. It's not about laughing and playing and ignoring the struggle and strife of life. Joy of being is about finding that deep core of joy, of acceptance, of love of life throughout all of the struggle and strife. How much can you love your life even when the challenges are right on top of you and it feels like they're pressing you down? This is what depression is when you feel like you're being pressed down into the earth. And when you can say to yourself, wow, this is what depression feels like. I feel really heavy. I feel like I don't want to move. I feel like this sadness is overwhelming. And you can say to yourself, yeah, this is really hard. And I love my life enough to stick with it through this challenging time. I love my life enough to go outside and witness the sunrise, to go and smell a flower, to go and jump in the sea with the 70-year-old ladies. This is when you can claim your everlasting life, your eternal youth. So I'm ready to share with you this amazing, beautiful, ancient Sitka spruce tree. This beauty grows just south of the town of Yachats, Oregon, which is called the gem of the Oregon coast, and it truly is. And I first met this tree a couple years ago before we went through the whole experience of worldwide pandemic pause, as many call it. I visited this tree and I leaned in to connect with this tree. And I was feeling a little bit old and tired that day. And this tree just laughed at me. She said, "Oh, honey, you are just a baby. I have witnessed so many humans walking by me, coming to visit me, crawling under my roots. This hole that you can see at the base of the tree is a large enough tunnel that you can crawl right through. And so that first time I met this beautiful Sitka spruce, I went and sat and meditated under her roots. And I felt myself connect with her roots. And I felt myself connect to something deeper within me, that core of resilience that keeps going even when you think you can't keep going. There's something inside of you that doesn't quit. And this core of resilience is what we tap into in order to revitalize, in order to reactivate our stem cells, our telomeres. These are terms for the genetic pieces that tell our body to completely regenerate. These human bodies completely regenerate every 7 years. So if you're more than 7 years old, which I think most of my viewers are more than 7 years old, you have become a completely new person. So right now, I've become a completely new person almost 9 times since I came into this body, into this life. And when we learn practices, breathing, movement, mindfulness practices that tell our body not to recreate the old tired body, but to recreate the youthful, vibrant body, those cells listen. You can recreate yourself, be reborn as a completely new human. And I really invite you to look at what that might look like for you. One of the pieces for me is taking time in nature, connecting with trees. So before I leave you here today, we're going to come back in here to this spruce tree and do a practice with her. But I want to share a little bit more of this day. So that big giant hole underneath where you can crawl through the roots, this is where the tree was born. So it's fitting that it kind of is like going into the womb of the tree. This is where the tree was born. She was born atop a log, a nurse log, they call it, and that's what this picture is. You can see this log going up across the hill, and there are, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 trees growing off of this one log. And you can see on the closer tree that the roots are wrapping around the log. And if you look closely, you can see that the log is starting to rot away. And so each one of these young trees is developing that hollow space under their roots that we see in the older tree. And so this is part of the cycle of life, finding nourishment in that old, rotting, composting part of your life that allows your new tree to be born, that allows your roots to wrap around it, to suck all of that nutrition out. And then it allows you to create a space within to be filled with more goodness, more joy, more expansion. And so here's a spruce that's in the middle of this process. So this tree hasn't grown as ancient as the first one I showed you, and the log that it started on has rotted away. And so what a beautiful metaphor to embrace from life. Oh, I thought I had one more picture here for you all. So we're going to go slowly back through these. And I guess I did not actually bring in the picture of the ocean. So you'll just have to imagine, if you walk out, you can almost imagine it in this picture here. This is on a hill up above the ocean, the beautiful Oregon coast. This Oregon has a really rocky coastline, so there are beautiful rock formations, and the waves crash into the rocks and create spouts and cauldrons and churning. And there's so much transformation happening, and the sea air is ionized, alive, fresh. And so this land where the land meets the sea, it's not a gentle place where these trees live. There are very high winds that blow through. There are violent storms. There are days and days where you don't see the sun because it's so foggy. I was blessed to have a sunny, bright day yesterday at the ocean, but it was very windy and cold. And so we came into the shelter of the trees. And this particular tree has some wisdom just for you. So we're going to drop into a little bit of a practice with this beautiful Sitka spruce. And Kirath says, a tree of hope where the journey is bright. The branches look like wings to fly. Oh, what a beautiful expression, Kirath. I love the way that you witness the beauty of life. So let's take a moment. I'd like to take a moment for each of you to really take in the beauty of this magnificent being who has been rooted in the earth for over 500 years and has brought her wisdom and shelter and companionship to so many life forms, to other trees, to ferns, to moss. You may be able to see the ferns and moss growing up the side of her trunk, to forest creatures, to birds and snakes and salamanders. We saw a salamander on this trail and a snake and many birds with beautiful songs, and burrowing creatures like rodents and rabbits live in this forest, as well as larger animals. Deer are probably around here, and possibly bears. So as we begin to drop into a meditative practice with this beautiful tree, I invite you to first just drop in to an awareness of what the presence of this Sitka spruce tree feels like to you. Deepen your breath. Imagine you can breathe with this tree. Each time you inhale, receive the breath of life, the vibrance that this ancient wisdom being carries. Each time you exhale, offer that beauty and life force back, coming into a balanced cycle of life with this beautiful tree. And now drop your awareness with the breath down into your roots. Imagine roots growing from the soles of your feet and from the core of your pelvis. Feel your roots growing deep and wide, deep down into the earth, as deep as you are tall, and then spread them wide. Imagine you can quest with your root tips to connect with the trees in the forests near you. And through those trees, with the trees around the world, feeling that network connecting globally with this beautiful Sitka spruce that lives on the Oregon coastline and the west coast of the United States, right by the Pacific Ocean. And feel the roots of the other humans who are practicing with us. Feel how we are creating a virtual forest of humanity. When we as humans connect with our roots, our moving, dancing, and playing roots, we connect to a greater context of life. We connect to an ability to gather nourishment from our environment in a different way. We connect to an ability to relate and communicate with each other on a deeper level. So allow yourself to really feel what the roots are of your being are connecting to. Feel how there's also a connection to the roots of your ancestry. And then begin to breathe nourishment through your roots, breathing it up into your belly and feeling it spread through you to fill you up. And then again, drop into connection with the Sitka spruce in this image and feel where you feel most connected. Is it through your heart that you can feel the most connected? Is it through your mind? I'm feeling a lively vibration in my third eye center right now. Perhaps it's through your throat, through the vocal cords where you feel the most connection right now. Just notice what it is for you. And notice when you start to feel yourself fully connected to the vibrant being, the goddess that is within this tree. I just started seeing her face, her nose, her mouth, and her eyes. And that hole that is between her roots looks like it is coming down from below her breastbone. So tune into your sensation of connection with this tree. And I'm going to be silent for a few breaths so you can see what wisdom comes through directly from the Sitka spruce into your heart mind. And then I will bring through channeled wisdom for the collective that comes through me, through my connection to her. And if anyone would like me to channel a message directly for you through me, I invite you to drop that request into the chat as we reach that time. But for now, first, before you put your request in for me to channel a message for you, I invite you to come into silence with me and receive a message that's just for you. I'll ring my crystal bowl for a few breaths to help clear out any mental chatter so that you can really connect deeply and hear, sense, feel, or see what the Sitka spruce would like to share with you right now. Breathing and connecting. Deep listening. I will channel a message for the collective from the Sitka spruce through me. She says, open your heart. Open your heart like you never have before. It may be painful to open your heart wide enough to let in the love that is available for you. It may feel like you are cracking yourself wide open. This is worth it, my friends, because when you really truly allow your heart to open wide, there is infinite love available to you. Infinite love that comes through you. Everything you need is right there within you and all around you. Allow your heart song to awaken and allow it to be expressed through you. You carry so much beauty and vibrancy. What a gift it is to be a human. I have seen so many humans pass my way who do not know the gift that they are carrying within them. Do you see how valuable you are to this world? We need you. You have abilities that no other creature has. You have hands to create. You have feet that articulate into the earth. You have an ability to shift your perspective to see things from many different angles. You have an infinite bag of tools available to you. Please use them towards the greater good of all. We need you awake and alive and vibrant and active. Take those amazing bodies out into the world. Dance and play, hike to the top of a mountain, climb a tree. We love it when you climb in our branches or stand on our roots or creep underneath and look through and deeply into our crevices. We love to be seen just as you do. We welcome you amongst us. Come, breathe the healing air of the forest. Receive the medicine that we have created just for you. Wrap your beautiful bodies around our trunks as far as you can reach. We love you. We love you. I'm going to ring the bowl just one more time in gratitude. Thank you so much, beautiful Sitka Spruce, for that powerful message. And I invite you one more time to see if there's any other message just for you coming directly. And if it feels relevant to share in the chat, I'd love to see what the Sitka Spruce says to you and through you. Kira says, my heart is open as tomorrow is the day when the sun shines with peace for us, knowing our property is safe, and to those the light of unity will rebuild what you lost. You are one. You are whole. You are love. What a beautiful mantra to repeat throughout your day, Nikki, or anyone else who resonates with this mantra. How beautiful. You are one. You are whole. You are love. Oh, I love that. So beautiful. So beautiful. Because I'm still celebrating my birthday, I just feel like hanging out with you all a little bit longer. So I would be happy to hear any more wisdom that came through you. Yes, God's love. Yes. Connecting to God's love. And I would be happy to share messages for each of you directly for a few more minutes. Oh, so beautiful. Gloria saw butterflies around her and then the eye of a dragon. She gave me great peace. That is so beautiful, Gloria. And I really invite you to receive the message in that. The butterfly is the symbol of metamorphosis. So fitting that it comes after our conversation of being reborn into a new you. There is an opportunity for you to be reborn coming through right now. And the eye of a dragon. The dragons are ancient earth guardians, and they are here to purify the way for our rebirth and renewal. And now, Gloria, I'm going to drop in on your behalf and see beautiful Sitka Spruce. Do you have more to share with Gloria about this beautiful image or anything else she needs to hear in her life? Gloria, the first thing that Sitka Spruce said to you is an invitation to dance. Now, I know that it may be sometimes physically challenging to move your body in the way that you feel it wants to move, to be fully free. This is what the Sitka Spruce is showing me, is an invitation to free your spirit to dance. So whether this means to you actually getting up and rocking out physically and getting your body moving, or a more of a spirit dance. And yes, Gloria, you can chair dance, and that's really important. There's an importance of moving as much as you can. I know when you have limited mobility, you can drop into less and less and less mobility. So there's a really strong encouragement. And I really encourage you, when you do your chair dance, make sure you're moving your hips as well as much as you can. You can move your arms and your torso. Find the edges of your mobility. I feel like that's the big message from the tree, is you know what your limitations are. Can you find more mobility than you think that you have? Find it in little ways, like, oh, I can do hip circles in my chair. Oh, I can really lift my torso up off of my waistline. Oh, I can lean to the side. Oh, maybe I can lean back and open my heart. So when you do your chair dance, it's an invitation to incrementally expand your mobility. a little bit more each time. Find a little bit more movement, a little bit more capacity to move. Reclaim that youthful feeling of dancing and playing, even if it's in a chair. Beautiful. And yeah, there's a freedom of spirit and really reclaiming that joy and expansion that happens when we dance and play and laugh. Nikki Stone, let's drop in. Oh, woohoo! Beautiful. Yay, Gloria. I want to hear how that goes if you really embrace this practice over a period of time. I'm excited. All right, beautiful Sitka Spruce, what would you like to share with Nikki beyond that beautiful message of love? Oh, so beautiful. Nikki, what this tree is showing me is she's actually showing me you as a tree. She's showing me how expansive you can grow when you really allow yourself to be deeply connected to the core of your being. Trying to bring this into words because trees don't talk in words. they show me and then I have to translate. And so it's similar in the sense of the movement that was coming through for Gloria, but it's different in the sense that she's not as much I mean, yes, dance, absolutely. She said, don't tell her not to dance because yes, she needs to dance. Everyone needs that. But what she's showing me is a stretching and expanding from really connecting to your core, from really dropping into your roots and feeling the core of your being connected. And then from that place, growing so tall, like you see how tall this tree is and how broad her base is. This is what she's inviting you to experience within your physical form and within your psychic awareness, is that you can lengthen, that you can grow all the way up to the sky energetically, that you can stretch all the way out into the ethers. And that's what she's saying. Everything that you're experiencing in your life right now is all about teaching you to stretch outside of your comfort zone, teaching you to find friendship in unexpected places, to become the one who expands her reach, just like trees reach out and touch each other's branches. How much can you expand your awareness, expand your energy field? How much can you stretch until you grow into that which you are meant to be? It's almost like she's showing me that you have this you know how they talk sometimes about the little you and the big you? It's like you're contracted right now. You're contracted into the smallest, most contracted version of you. And when you are able to stretch outside of your current comfort zone, that's when you're going to find your feet, when you're going to find your place in the world, when you're going to feel seen and understood, and when you will be able to thereby reflect back your true value, like she was saying in her message for the collective, that she wants you to witness how amazing that most expanded version of you is, and then be brave and unwavering in your dedication to express yourself as that most expanded version of you. So let's Let's take one more. I'd love to hear, Nikki, how that landed for you. Um, and oh, she has one more thing to say. She said, this might be a little bit scary, so don't feel like you have to do it all in one day. Similar to what I was saying to Gloria about just little micro incremental expansions of mobility, this stretching into your most expansive version, it doesn't happen all at once. It's like dipping your toe in or just reaching one finger out to touch another. So she's really inviting you to take one step each day, but only one each day that takes you outside of your comfort zone. And if something scares you, that's a place to bring your awareness and say, what is one thing that I can do to test the waters of this place that's outside of my comfort zone? So you're not being asked to fling yourself out of your comfort zone. You're being asked to gently test the waters. Okay, well, what if I try this? Not what if I try this in my brain, let me try to imagine it, but actually like, okay, let me see what happens if I try this. And so it's about taking micro actions that stretch you outside of your comfort zone, but not giant leaping off a cliff actions, just micro actions. One little thing that might be really scary, might be really uncomfortable, but it's one action where you just say, okay, let me see what happens. Instead of waiting until I feel safe, let me see what happens if I just try one little baby step outside of my comfort zone. I hope that made sense. And I hope that helped and resonated for you. And now Kirath is also requesting a message. So we will drop in one more time with the beautiful Sitka Spruce. Oh, Kirath, I am just feeling a deep wave of gratitude. What she is saying for you, my dear friend, is yes. I know yes sounds weird here. Yes, you are doing exactly what you're meant to do. She's just so grateful for you showing up the way that you show up in the world, for staying dedicated to the light, for staying dedicated to your journey, even when it's challenging, for staying in the love. She just really wants you to witness all the ways that you are doing things right in your life right now. Even with wild, crazy riots, you held your ground. You stood in your power. You protected your space. You stayed with your loved ones, with yourself, with the truth of your being. And she just really wants to honor you, Kirath, for your dedication to staying present and staying in the light. So keep on keeping on, my friend. You are on the right track. So if there's something that you've been not sure about, but you're feeling like you want to do it, this is a big yes. Yes, go for it. Everything is aligning for you, my friend. So take that leap. She's actually saying for you, Kirath, it's a little bit less of dipping your toe like it is for Nikki. Nikki's at the dipping her toe phase. You, Kirath, are at the take a dive. If there's something that this resonates with that you feel like feels like a big leap of faith, she's telling you through me that the support is aligned for you right now to take that giant leap of faith, to find those wings that she showed you early on and soar into your future. And it's interesting, right now I'm seeing her face in a completely different place. She's expressing herself very tall and expansive and showing me again the wings. Take flight, she says. Take flight, dear Kira. Oh, so thankful to you who asked for a personal message, because I know there are pieces within these messages for everyone in the collective. So if you didn't get a personal message or you're watching the replay, just receive what you know resonates, what feels like it is for you, and that is what it is. Thank you so much. This was so beautiful and needed today, Kira. Big hugs. Thanks to you and the beautiful Sitka Spruce. Thank you, Gloria. And I'm glad that resonated for you, Nikki. And I am so happy to be here with you all. And Kirath says, thank you. My wings are ready to fly. Salute you for being my pillar of hope and safety. Yes, Kirath, that's so important when you take that leap of faith to have something that you can ground into that feels safe. So keep coming back to that as you take your giant leap of faith. Keep grounding back into what feels safe. And I will be back next week with another great show. We'll be on a Practice with Portals show next week. And we'll be bringing in more trees. And I have some really fun, exciting new offerings coming up. So stay tuned. And let's keep practicing together. Let's keep expanding together. Let's keep growing and stretching and learning together. Keep those roots connected. And keep following me here on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. Watch for new developments, new updates coming soon. More movement practice, more breath practice, more meditation, more creativity, and more bringing through your unique gifts. And if you feel that you need more one-on-one personal guidance, I invite you to reach out to me directly here on Facebook, or go to practiceselflove.com and sign up for your private free 30-minute discovery session where we will dive in deeply to your unique challenges, your gifts, and make a plan for the next steps on your healer's journey. I am here as a resource for you on your journey, that you may feel fully supported to stretch and grow, to open your wings and soar into your future, because this planet needs more humans fully connected to their joy, fully aligned and present to who they truly are, fully expanded in the heart space and open to love and ready to shine that forth. That's how we heal together, one healer at a time, planet-wide, unifying our forces to rise up as one family in love and light. So keep coming back to EWN, One with the Earth. Watch all of the amazing shows there and on the other Enlightened World Network channels. Enlightened World Network is to be found on Facebook and YouTube as well, and there are links in the description of this video. And we are all here together, bringing the light to really utilize this one precious life towards the greatest good. So please lean on me as needed. Call me in as a resource. You never have to do it alone. Let's do this. I love you all so much. So we're going to say adieu for now. Until next time, love, light, and blessings. You deserve all the love.